Couch Pilots Replacement Co-Host, Interview 1, Lorelei Toscher, DSJ. Yeah, bring her in. Hello.
Hi.
You are my daughter. I own you. I want to, you know why you're here, right?
Yes, I do.
So I don't know if you have a passing interest in it or if you genuinely want to do it, but I am looking for a co-host, as you know, to replace Blake until he is done doing whatever it is he's doing.
Of course.
I got a few questions for you. I've got a long list of applicants, so, I mean, you are at the front of the line, obviously.
Good to know.
First question, let's see here. Do you have a drinking problem? Oh, wait. No, that's for Blake. Please describe how a representative from the younger generation, such as yourself, would enjoy a failed television pilot from the 1960s.
I'm not as interested in
Right.
it. I'm not really interested. I think if it was failed, then, I mean, it wouldn't be that good.
No, you passed. I'm really not interested in myself. How are your woodworking skills?
Yeah, I don't.
That was actually for Blake, too.
Oh, okay.
Do you have your own transportation?
No, I don't.
How do you get around?
My mom. And you.
Right. I knew that one. What is TikTok?
It's an app.
Application, right? Short for application?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It is an app that has apparently gone viral if you know about it. But it's like 15-second videos you can watch, and it gets pretty addicting.
Oh, fast YouTube.
Yeah, I guess.
I
mean, everyone has like a For You page. You open the app and a video is already playing.
Do you TikTok?
I don't.
Can I TikTok?
No. I don't want you to do that.
Okay, wipe that off. Okay, good. Thank you. I feel like anyone could just say yes. I feel like you're being honest with me.
I mean, that's what I'm for.
I raised you. What would you bring to the show that is unique? For instance, Blake, who is my former co-host, has a drinking problem.
I don't know. I don't have anything special to bring.
Unique heritage?
I don't have anything.
Do you have any questions about the position?
What's the most important part about it? Like, what do I need?
Showing up.
Just showing up.
Yeah, you would have to do what Blake did before, which is just like watch something and then nothing else.
Nothing else. I just had to be here. Right?
Availability is 75% of it.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Okay. Any more questions?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in. DSJ will see you out. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. My own daughter. Well, I screwed up there. What the hell am I going to do? Oh. Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
What's up? Yeah.
Come in here. Come in here.
Hold on. Hold on. What's up?
Hey,
What are you doing?
I was gonna record. What? Hey, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I come to the captain's lounge. What are you doing?
To be honest, I was just kind of, poking my head in, just seeing if you might need any help.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do need help, Kevin. I'll be honest with you.
Well,
I know that
you know that I'm always here to lend a helping hand to you.
And a good helping can to you, sir. Clink.
Chills.
Chill. Hey, look. Blake is on a radical sabbatical. Drunk.
Oh.
And I was interviewing people to take his spot, and they're all.
Did he finally make his way to hedonism?
Well, is returned to. He said they're literally paying him due to COVID to go there.
Oh.
So he might be the face of hedonism going forward.
Hell yeah, brother.
I cheered him on. I knew.
Good for him.
I know he hit 100 years ago. 100
Yeah,
women.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I know he was trying to get to 200 and eventually get on pace with the number of episodes we've done.
Maybe 299.
Ooh, that's a good number.
Probably a hard cap on that.
Yeah. Then stop and then pop yourself right in the head. Hey, I need to. Can you record an episode of it?
Yeah. Do you want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
I thought you would never ask. And you know what?
What's that?
Let me just say, she used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I would have saw?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
Hey, what's the pilot?
Well, you know the show's on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yes, but you're aware there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show's called a pilot. Then they show that one show to the people who pick the shows, and on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs. Some don't and become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing. This is good.
Sorry. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my test pilot. It's Captain Kebmo Slice. Hey, Kevin.
Hello, Jason.
You aren't Blake.
Correct.
Blake is
As much as I
yeah.
would love to be.
Oh well, I mean, the mics can pick up sarcasm.
As much as I would love his positive qualities.
Okay. Let's name them real quick.
Pinball machines.
I love his hair.
I love his tooth that he takes out.
I love the cleanliness of his garage floor.
I love the color of the discharge that comes out of his ass.
I like the underneath dorsal skin of flesh that his Great Dane has.
I like the skin tag that he tried to wrap in string.
I have no more. I'm completely tapped.
I'm tapped too.
Call
me Jake Tapper.
Jake Tapper, the Tap 2 bar. What's it? Bar Rescue?
No, that's John Taffer. Jake Tapper is, I believe, a political pundit.
Oh,
is that just somebody who talks about politics?
I think a talking head or a political pundit is just someone who, just talks about politics.
Ben Shapiro.
For sure.
Pundit.
Yeah.
Jake Tapper, pundit.
Pundits. It almost sounds like a move in the NFL, doesn't it?
That's going to be a 15 yards on a pundits on that one. I'll say so.
He's going for the extra point. The pundit goes up. Boom.
And there was one guy. There was one guy named Jay Feely who was a kicker in the NFL years ago, and he was hired on as a kicking specialist announcer for college football.
So anytime a kick play went and they turn on his mic and say, "Go for it. Explain to us what's going on."
They would, I believe that was what it was, or he was just in games. He would be sent to games which had like good kickers or something like that. Or he would be like in a booth somewhere and they would just like throw it to him just during kicks
by himself.
Yeah, but one time it was it's famous to people who do nothing but watch sports like me. And he goes, some guy just went so wide right, missed it by a mile, and he goes, and it's good. And he's like, wow, I couldn't believe he made that, ain't it? Wow, right down the middle.
Just being an asshole? Or
no, I think he just saw it or something, and they just cut to commercial. Like, and they came back, he's like, wow, I was pretty excited about that.
Cut to commercial.
Yeah,
who needs it?
Yeah.
Hey,
pundit.
We met, first of all, the helping can. Second of all, you're here because Blake is taking a break from the show.
Mm-hmm. Taking a plane break, some would say.
Yeah.
Taking a plane break. Bow, 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 bow.
I've been listening to a lot of old...
Jet?
Jet.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Jet.
That's Wings, right?
That's Wings.
That's the Wings, and then Jet is another band entirely.
Jet is a band that
Are they
took their
good?
name from that song.
Oh, did they really?
That is
I
correct.
think the joke is always to sing that song when you
Yeah.
hear Jet. I didn't
Yeah.
realize they actually took that from their.
It's on their Wikipedia.
I believe you.
Hey, if not, somebody,
Somebody stop
somebody,
me.
somebody. If not, somebody stop me.
And that's what the show's going to be from now on.
Yeah,
Until
pretty
Blake
much,
comes
yeah.
back, it's just going to be us
Very-
referencing things from the 90s. A lot of Jim Carrey. A lot of Jim Carrey.
A lot of self-pleasure.
Yeah, a lot of
This is
a lot of
just
us just jerking each other off.
That's pretty much what it is every time we get on Two Hot Mics.
That's pretty true.
Has this been the first time it's ever been just us two on Two
Yeah.
Hot Mics?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
we-
Well,
with our group of home brothers, it's been every single combination except that.
wow.
Like I don't even think I've ever done a one-on-one with like any of the other guys actually.
No.
Like with Dustin, we'd
Dustin, no.
always Drunken Lullabies, or I do the Ernest show.
You've done what? No. Yeah, with Dustin, I feel like you've done a Drunken Lullabies with just you and him.
Maybe.
Maybe with like somebody else in the background, like Freckles is her Drunken Lullabies.
Oh, right.
name
Oh, that's
in the
right. I forgot
background.
about that.
You know, yeah.
R.I.P. DL.
Yeah. yeah.
So let's do an episode of Couch Pilots and
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I'm interviewing people.
Yeah,
to
for
be,
sure.
and those
That's what I heard.
interviews will be up front on the show.
Who have you gotten so far? I mean, where are we at in the interview process?
One interview,
Okay, who was that?
my daughter.
Oh shit.
Well, I am very nepotistic, so
I know that's what I'm saying. I want this job, but okay.
hey, what will you do for it?
Ask me what I'll do for a Klondike bar. Probably not much short of that.
Oh, hey, bada bing, bada boom.
There it
I
is.
have something we should talk about.
Okay, what's that?
Banter.
Yeah.
I went to
Of sorts.
Yeah, I went to a mega arcade recently.
Yes.
It's
What,
called,
did you get a mega?
I had a Meta Milk Beignet walking around. It's cool because most guys there, they use the left and the right hand to use the joysticks, but I had an extra. I had a boner going, so I got to flip the joystick with my joystick. Boom, boom, boom.
High five that shit.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I went to the Galloping Ghost, which is in the Brookfield area.
Red Grange,
Okay.
football player for the Bears. Galloping Ghost. That was his nickname.
Oh, really? Yep. You really do watch sports all the time.
Yeah.
This is the signs say largest arcade in the world. Now I don't know if they necessarily mean by square footage, but goddamn if they don't pack these 1970s to like early aughts arcade games just row after row after. It's unbelievable.
That's you bring up a good thing with the largest arcade in the world because every barcade that I've ever been to, 8-bit for example,
Yeah.
is packed.
With machines?
Yeah, but granted they're in a smaller area
Yeah.
and whatnot. And yeah, really every other there's a couple in Chicago that I can think of. Emporium,
GameWorks in the Schonberg Mall.
Well, GameWorks is like, yeah, that's like
It's pretty rad.
there's arcades and then there's like GameWorks and Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
You know, like that's
Yeah.
just kind of their own genre of kid pleasing.
This is
places,
an old school, like you're walking
Yeah.
into the 80s or 90s.
cabinets. Like
Yeah.
a place like Dave & Buster's and GameWorks, cabinets are kind of long gone by.
You might see like a Pac-Man in the corner, but otherwise they have these big monstrosities that cost $4 or $5 a play.
And you're trying to get tickets. That's what it's all about. See, at the cabinet games is a lost art because what are you trying to do? You're trying to get the high score.
You're trying to beat the game, high score.
Beat the game, high score.
It's funny you mention that because that's why I went there. My brother Ryan.
That's why I'm setting the pins up.
Very good.
My back hurts. I'm setting these pins
All
up.
right, all right.
Setting them. Play that Miley Cyrus song.
I got to go to a different screen for it.
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Fred Willard?
Yeah.
I went to the Galloping Ghost in the Chicagoland area because my brother was invited there. He's the guy who started the Bloomington Normal video game convention, which I'm helping him organize this year. And
Bloomington Normal, Illinois.
correct. And
We're going to be getting a lot of listeners on this. So that's the reason.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, Billy Mitchell is a fella who was featured kind of as the villain in the documentary King of Kong.
Yeah.
And my brother had him as a special guest at last year's convention and has kind of maintained a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he invited him up to do this. And my brother's like, hey, you should come with me. And I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah.
I've known about it for years. I've always wanted to check this place out.
It is famous in the Chicagoland area, I'd say. I never was into, kind of older nerder. It's just it's it's like it's a little
fuck.
it's a little bit it's like older nerdy thing.
It's pretty nerdy.
Yeah. Well, I never got into the conventional nerd stuff like comic books, arcade games, and that kind of thing. That is a little bit past my time. And if you got into that, if you're my age and you're into comic books and stuff like that, you got into that in your 20s. It wasn't coming up with comic books, really, in my age, and especially arcade games.
I grew up watching a lot of like superhero cartoons, and I kind of got into comics a little bit after that, for not very long, but I've always loved video games.
Yeah,
and I always loved like the Northwoods Mall in Peoria has I don't know what's there now, but it used to have something on the lower floor in the middle called Aladdin's Castle.
I've heard of that,
and that was all arcade games, and that was really cool. But when I was young, you how many quarters until it runs out, until the fun has to end? But here, it's $20, and you can play all day.
Wow.
And like if I lived up there, I wouldn't be going there every week. It'd probably be like once, maybe twice a year.
Unless you got really, really good at one.
Maybe.
You never know.
We went up there to kind of witness Billy Mitchell get the high score in Pac-Man.
Attempting, right?
He's great at Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. I think he was working at Ms. Pac-Man machine.
Does Donkey Kong have a Donkey Dong?
You can see it clearly in the U.S., but in Japan they pixelate it out.
That makes
it's
sense.
4-bit over there.
Only when it's insertion, though.
Only
it's
then.
pixelated.
Yeah. Or if there's any kind of
play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
you're welcome.
$20. Ow. $20 all day play.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I went. It was really cool.
Yeah. You see, the thing is, this is for the listeners because I already know why you were there. Full disclosure. We talked about it.
Can you want to tell everyone?
Well, what you just said. You just told everyone.
You knew the thing I just said, but it was a talking point for the show.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
We have to get through banter.
If
we don't get through banter, how are we ever going to get to boarding?
I don't know.
That's the boarding noise.
Stop. Yes. Stop. Don't board yet. Okay. So, yes, you told me all that stuff, and I love the fact that your brother, who has been a guest on this very program before.
He has, yeah.
He maintains a relationship with Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
Now, you said he was the like kind of painted to be the villain in the documentary film, The King of Kong.
Yes.
Now, he very much is, but I remember after watching that documentary, I believe it's still on Netflix. If not, you can find it elsewhere. It's a very good documentary.
It is good, yeah.
Yeah. And I looked up like him and like all of his stuff and like videos. He's just kind of a cocky guy, whatever. I'm like, good. There needs to be a cocky nerd, you know? Like, are they all just going to be timid? Like, God bless you. Thank you. No. There has to be a guy that's like, you know what? No, I'm the best at this. Yeah, fuck yeah, do that, dude. That's coming from a guy who's friends with a lot of meatheads.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have that one guy. And he's not imposing. Like, he's a tall guy, I'm sure,
He's
right?
a tall, thin guy.
You saw him in person.
Yeah, I've met him a couple times now.
Yeah.
He wears all black.
Uh-huh.
Like
American flag
dress
tie.
pants, and then always an American flag tie.
Yeah.
And then he's got like long
Some
dark
hair,
hair that I would imagine
is
pretty dyed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's his brand. It's his look.
Yep, it is his look.
So
Which
I don't
is cool. I mean, you get that in all realms of, celebrity, quote unquote. You get
we showed up, and
athletes,
my brother's like, "Hey,
whatever.
Hey, Billy, good to see you. When are you going to start?" And he was like genuinely happy to see my brother. He's
Cool.
like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you came up for this."
That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice guy. He's always been pleasant to me.
And the reason why I bring up that, and again, that you said that he was kind of painted to be the villain, is that he, afterwards, I looked up like what his goings on were. He was like accused of cheating multiple ways and stuff like that. And he was recently exonerated, but your brother had been kind of talking to him throughout and was kind of on his side throughout it.
Well, I think
correct?
what happened was I think he had called my brother and said, "Hey, tune in to something at this time, big announcement." And my brother's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And so the announcement was that he had been cleared of all of his cheating, and then And then he talked to my brother later. And he said, I wanted you to know that because I really appreciate you standing by me and all this.
Yeah, because he had him at the convention last year.
And that's all of it. I think that's all. I don't know that my brother's gone out of his way to do anything extra for this guy, but just saying, hey, we recognize what you've done for this industry. Will you please be a special guest? And that I think meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they have a back and forth, a conversation. And I don't know if he's coming this year to the convention or not. We have another guest that we're looking to have.
Nice.
But I think it's really funny that my brother has Billy Mitchell in his phone.
I get it. I totally get it as somebody who is egotistical to a certain degree. I think that it requires a bit of ego to be in the position that he's in and to be as good as he is. I mean, it's difficult to not have a little bit of ego, but as somebody who has an ego that is pretty large, I recognize those people who are kind of on your side and you can tell that they're genuine about it and that they don't really have any interest in would you say
interest.
that
you and Joe Rogan are the Billy Mitchells of podcasting?
I'd say probably, yeah.
Are you high?
I gotta get it.
Are you high, Joe?
Do you ever think about monkeys?
Hi, Joe.
You ever think about monkeys? They just rip your face off, Like I think that.
I don't get it. Why would you have it as a pet?
Well, that's what people want to do. That's what monkeys are basically just like people, And so people just want to rip your face off.
Joe, you're too high.
Jamie, pull up that clip of the chimpanzee. Jamie,
Joe, I will. I have it on speed dial. Joe, you're too high.
No, get Elon Musk in here.
Guys, let's take 5. Joe's too high.
Get Elon Musk in.
Joe too high. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe. But that's a great story. I really do like that you went to the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois.
No joke, over almost 800 games almost in this one building. And then you go outside, at the entrance, they have a map. And in the surrounding blocks,
nice.
They have another location that's all pinballs.
Sweet.
Pinball machines. And they have one location that's a storage shop. One location that's a repair shop. All these different locations. And they have a Galloping Ghost MMA spot. They have 6 businesses
get into
under
that.
the Galloping Ghost. Very bizarre.
MMA is kind of like a nerdy sport. Yeah, it is a sport. I'll recognize it as a sport. It's just trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
But I recognize it
just
as
like a monkey would, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelts.
Hi, Joe. Joe, you're too high. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our landmark 27th season of Couch Pilots. Everything between the numbers of show we're on and the seasons itself, it's all arbitrary. It doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
But we've kept track of our seasons. What if a season was 50 episodes long? We'd be in our 4th season.
Pretty much.
So who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? Hey, you know what? You're the one that knows the number.
I'm the one.
And that's it.
No one else knows how many numbers.
Still the one I know the number of. The only one that knows the number of episodes.
The show is built on the back of his head.
That's 27 seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Today we discuss the pilot episode of Slickers from the year of our Lord 1900 at 85. Great year. Is Slickers British for condom?
I think yes.
If that is true, then the pilot makes sense to me now. Because it's a fuck fest.
Yeah.
High five it.
So I'd say definitely know that going into the pilot. It's going to be linked in the description.
Yeah, for everyone that
don't click on
watches
it. Don't click on it yet. Know that it's the British slang term for condoms.
Have it in the back of your mind the entire time you're viewing the
And
pilot.
in the back of your throat.
Whoop. Whoop. 1985.
85, I was -5.
Oh, boy.
I was not alive.
I was 4.
Yes, you were.
We are. You and I have a greater age difference than Blake and I had. 6 years for him and I, and about 8.5, 9 for you and me.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I never even thought about that. Yeah, I just know that there is a difference in comparison because I'm younger.
Right. Are you? Yeah, I've never been the old guy on the show. It's very disheartening.
Yeah.
Are you mature for your age?
No, I don't think so.
Am I mature for my age?
I think you're perfectly mature. You're accurately mature.
Thank you.
Not more than you should be. Not less, but definitely not more.
Hey, have you ever heard this before?
What's that?
You ever heard that?
It's great show
Matt had that made.
for $5. $3.50, right? Or no?
I think he went to Fiverr.com.
He went to Fiverr.com and I think he spent $3.50.
Got a great deal.
Yeah.
He talked him down to $3.50 from $5.
No, I think that's our good friend Tim Wasson.
Ooh, like
He
that
did-
guy.
He cut a deal on Fiverr once
Did
for
he?
some stuff that he never used. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his deal.
How bad? Tim's not hurting for money, and he's talking guys down
right?
$1.50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well, God bless him.
yeah.
1985. Let's go back there.
In our minds.
And we'll do that so we can properly discuss, digest, and regurgitate information based on the year that this pilot was made.
I'd like to hear some stuff that happened in 1985.
Good. December 9th, San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Jerry Rice begins NFL streak of 100-plus consecutive games with a reception and a 27-20 defeat to the LA Rams at Candlestick Park.
Candlestick Park.
Is it gone now?
It's gone. It's Levi's Stadium.
What would you
Oh wait, no,
name
hold
it?
on. Candlestick Park. Yeah, no, that. Yeah, no, that Levi's Stadium. No. I would probably call it Candlesnit Park.
And that's British for condom.
Yeah, it's British. The British slang term for condom.
Now,
Condom.
Candlestick Park is also a baseball field, right? So it doubles as a
It was.
baseball. Okay, but that's gone.
But that's that was the San Francisco Giants. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm thinking of it now. Then yeah, it is. Yeah.
And that's where the famous earthquake happened during the game there, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Look,
It's one of those.
Listen, I don't know.
You know what? It was either the Dodgers and the Rams, or it was the 49ers and the very much Giants.
Okay.
But yeah, it rings a bell. Candlestick Park. It's one of those parks.
Listen, December 11th, Hugh Scruton is killed outside his Sacramento.
Scruts.
You know Scruts. He's killed outside his Sacramento, California computer rental store by a Unabomber explosive, becoming the first fatality of the bombing campaign.
Ted Kaczynski.
That's absolutely right. 'Cause I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you remember why the Unabomber unibombed?
I believe there was some sort of manifesto that became apparent after his
Capture?
capture. Yeah, because he did not commit suicide.
No, I think he's dead now. I think they fried him somewhere.
I
but-
think he died. But I remember when I was a young child, my father. Did I tell you this story?
No.
When I was a young child, my father for Halloween dressed as the Unabomber,
Wow.
and it was
the original patient zero of bad taste. Your dad.
Yeah. He wore. He was proud of it. He was really
Good for-
pumped about
good.
this. He was wearing an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And he made little because we were kids. Construction paper was all over our house. It rolled up red construction paper with some bombs strapped into his chest.
Wow.
And he had a wig that he put up, and he put like black powder on his face as if he had blown himself up.
Wow. like a fucking Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was funny because it wasn't racist because he was a white guy.
Okay, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
There were those guys like, in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, they would like dress up in turbans and have like bombs and
Sure.
like be
Yeah.
like that's pretty bad. But the Unabomber, it was funny back then.
Yeah. Pretty funny. But before they got him, is like, what does the Unabomber look like? And it turns
Yeah.
out just a white guy with big glasses and a hoodie on.
Weird Al, basically. Yeah.
You're that's what I'm saying. Your mom should have gone as Weird Al, and then your dad have gone like as actual Ted Kaczynski. That'd have been good, right?
Very good.
December
that's funny.
16th in New York City, American mafia bosses Paul Castellano and Thomas Bellotti are shot dead in front of Sparks Steakhouse, making hit organizer John Gotti the leader of the all-powerful Gambino crime familia.
John Gotti. So that's a familiar name because of my experience. I mean, you are, like we had already mentioned, you are older than I am, so you are probably more familiar with the
Sopranos.
The Sopranos also.
The Sopranos over here.
Yeah. Like Kardashian, that guy Kardashian. Yeah, you got another one over here.
Yeah, Robert Kardashian.
You probably remember that. You probably remember the OJ thing, right? Was that?
I love OJ.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff was
Hey, to the
a little
world.
before. Hey, to the world. Yours truly.
I do remember those things.
Yeah. So John Gotti, the only thing that I know about him is that they made a movie about him with John Travolta.
That wasn't even that long ago.
I
That was
know.
like 7 years ago.
No, but I know that his wife was like in a reality show,
Okay.
like in the mid
like Growing Up
or something.
Gotti or something like that.
That's precisely what
Is that
it
what it's
is.
called?
That sounds exactly.
I never
what
saw
the
it,
name of
but if there's one
Yeah.
thing that reality TV shows do well, it's alliteration.
Yes,
So-
very much. Keep it up with the Kardashians. Growing Up Gotti,
Growing Pains,
Growing Pains,
Family Matters,
Family Matters,
Family Ties,
Family Ties.
Small Wonder.
Also, you got what's that? Crisley Knows Best.
What is that? I don't know that.
It's on the USA Network.
I'd watch it.
It's about a guy that's gay that, for some reason, won't say he's gay.
But he knows what's best.
It's like he knows what's best. He's like a guy that embezzled millions of dollars, and for some reason he's still famous, and he's got a whole family, and it's like he's obviously a gay guy, and they're like, "Oh, Chris."
Grizzly Gay Guru is what they should call it. There's your goddamn alliteration.
Love Guru?
Have you ever fantasized about being in a mafia, or as I call it, white gang?
Yeah, I think that there's a point in I'm speaking for myself because of.
You're kind of America's everyman. You and Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
You're an
pretty much.
everyman.
Hey, I'm Tom Hanks. I'm in all the movies.
What? No.
That's my Tom Hanks impression.
What? That's nuts.
Hey, I'm in all the movies.
That's him. You did it. I can't believe it.
I think there's a thing very specific about the Chicago suburbs that Italian kids, for
Yeah.
some reason, all of them like come from Chicago.
Yeah.
And so they think that like they're kids, and they think that their dads are like hardened gangsters,
Secretly in the mafia or something.
And so it's never the kids themselves, but it's their friends are like, oh yeah, his dad's in the mafia.
Just because he's an Italian guy.
Exactly.
Right?
And
Yeah.
so there's always that Chicago thing because they're like, oh, they move in 4th grade to our school. Oh yeah. He's
Witness
Italian.
protection, yeah.
His dad's in the mafia. It's like, no, his dad just made money in a restaurant business or something, and he's got a ton of money, so he moved to the suburbs. Yeah, so I always did actually fantasize about being in the mafia.
Yeah, I watched The Sopranos over here a couple times, and I was like, hey, it looks pretty cool. And they're always eating like deli meat, too, which I love deli meat.
Capicola.
Hey, give me some fresh gabagool.
Hey, Ma, where's the fucking Zito?
Barry Zito.
Hey, where's Barry Zito, Ma?
Another professional baseball player
There
from
we go.
Candlestick Park.
Candlestick Park.
So you're probably asking yourself, well, actually, I'm going to ask you, why did we choose to watch Slickars?
We chose to watch it because it's a pilot episode of a television program that never made it to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Did not do enough research to see if this actually did air.
Sure.
But it seems like it could be one that did. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Right.
Second reason, watched it because it was on the internet, able to be seen. And the third reason is, although it was on the internet and able to be seen, it had to be free.
Yeah, you got it. You're probably asking yourself, where can you find the entire episode of Slickers? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links, show notes, or go to YouTube, Kevin.
And you know what to do, Tube. And those links you're going to want to say for Apple Podcasts are Passionately Fuchsia.
That's true. They're not blue at all. They never were.
Got all that wind in you.
There's an early miscalculation.
Got to get that wind out of you.
When I usually when we take the flight, I get it up.
And you do everything in the middle.
Blake does, yeah. And then I get it back down.
You need somebody to do something in the middle.
Well, there's a switch I found a couple years back. It says autopilot.
Yeah.
I just press that now.
Holy shit! Wow.
Hey, fucking flies itself.
Slaps side of airplane. This thing flies itself.
Classic memes.
Classic meme.
There will be a meme book, like a meme coffee table book, right?
Oh, there is one.
There already is one.
Oh, there's multiple. I'm sure of it. I know of one. Therefore, there must be more. I know that there's one that's a Vine specific coffee table book called Milk and Vine.
Ooh, do you own it?
No.
Someone's
And,
birthday's coming up.
in about 7-8 months.
Hey,
6 months. When is my birthday?
It's May.
It's
It's
in
in May
May,
sometime. Hey, listen to me right now. You had a big birthday this past year,
30.
and it was like fucked up
Yeah.
because of the COVID.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's fine. I don't care. I'm never been a person to be selfish about anything. The only thing that I don't like about that kind of thing, or really COVID in general, is I love parties.
Oh, I love to party.
And I really like, so when it's my birthday party, that means that, I would get to plan the party.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be great. And that's the thing. I like parties to be great for other people.
Sure.
Sure, it was great for me, Steph's 30th birthday party, because we sang karaoke.
Oh yeah, it was great.
But, like, I like to plan parties because I know what gets people going and has a good time. So it was cool to have my birthday party just at my parents' house and just kind of sit in the garage and have beers with a few friends. Like, that was cool. But I don't really care. Big birthday, sure. I don't really care though.
Well, it better be
That's
fixed
fine.
by this time next year. This COVID thing, because I got
Yeah.
a big birthday coming up.
Yeah, you do. Big 4.
No, I'm 55.
Oh,
Sammy Hagar special, baby.
just like that. Just like that road
Just like that road.
that goes up to Chi-Town.
Just like that road. You know what I'm talking about. Summary of the pilot. A big city cop who finds himself transferred to a small town and partnered with an easygoing sheriff. You want to rate it or not? Is that your thing? Do you want to rate these summaries?
We don't
have
say
to do
good or bad.
Okay, I was saying we don't have to do exactly
Good.
what was done in the past. Good.
Good. Yeah. If it's really good, I was good.
I think it's
If it's
good.
bad, I was like, bad. But if it's bad, it was bad. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
It's interesting facts.
This is a portion of the show that classically we talk about interesting facts about this pilot. And the thing is, you're not supposed to talk about the interesting facts and tell the person that you're talking to about them that it's interesting or not, unless it is a pet, a four-legged friend. But just keep the information about the facts to yourself, unless it is the word fact or yes or no. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
Release date, July 11th, 1985. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
Has been described as Barney Miller meets Andy Griffith. Fact. Stars Dana Carvey as Elliot Clinton. This pilot predates Carvey's tenure on Saturday Night Live, his breakout role, which he was on from 1986 to 1993. Fact.
86 is when he started. 1993 is when he ended.
Correct. I think that's the full 7 years.
Did he? Yeah. That's canon. Now, was the Dana Carvey show? That was right after. No.
I think the Dana Carvey show, I want to say, was like
Later
95, 96, somewhere in there.
I feel like it was even later than that.
It could have been. It was definitely during the Clinton presidency.
Yes.
And
for sure.
he had writers such as, well, at least performers.
Smeagol.
Robert Smigel, yeah. And he had, Steve Carell. And I think even, did he have Stephen Colbert?
Yep. Colbert and Carell were cast
Yeah.
members, yeah, and writers. Yeah.
I watched some of that show. and
We've talked about this.
It's silly.
Off pod.
Yeah.
Many times, I think. Well, not many times, but extensively at least once.
And I think it was Hulu that has
Yep.
the documentary. What's it called?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any
something.
Given Sunday, I think it is. Any Hoop Dreams,
I think it's called Serial.
Electro City, something like that.
Something. But it's a Dana Carvey show is all on Hulu too.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it's like an FX property or something like that.
Yeah.
So-
What a weird show.
Oh, so fucked. I don't know if it was you or somebody else or some Reddit or something that said like, watch the documentary and then watch the show. And I did. I did
It's
just
probably
that.
a good way to appreciate everything you're seeing after that.
Yeah, very much so. I watched the first few episodes. I need to continue to watch it, but very funny. Yeah, Dana Carvey in the show.
This is unrelated,
Yeah.
but I'm getting so fat
Okay.
that when I sit down, I put my hand on my belly sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Is that a thing people do?
That's the thing I do. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
because I never really used to do that. I'm just getting so fat that I just.
Well,
have
yeah.
a-
Once you, well, God, I mean, I feel the shelf now, but like once you reach shelf status, then that's good. I think that's a good thing. I think it's because it's
because of heart disease.
well, heart disease, and you think about human history as a whole, correct?
I do.
Yeah.
Thank
now,
you for bringing it up.
Why do you think your hands naturally want to go there? Ergonomics, evolution, right?
So I'm like
A king.
I'm like the king of man,
You're the king of men.
like the king of kings,
The king of kings.
like
of
Jesus
sorts.
Christ or Triple H himself, right?
It's time to play the game. The cerebral assassin.
My time. You remember that song? No. My time?
that?
No.
No. What
That
is
was
that?
Triple H's, or like, just kind of like leaving DX, late '90s. That was
Yeah, I know that.
my time.
I know the game, and then there's another one that he uses too. That's another Lemmy-driven.
Oh, yeah.
Motorhead song. It's the game, and then there's another one that's like
the game, and I ain't playing. All about the game that ain't saying. I heard that while Lemmy recorded that, he drank an entire handle of whiskey.
not unheard of. He drank an entire handle of whiskey about each day. Yeah, maybe multiples.
But I tell you what, I tip my hat to the King of Kings.
Tip your cap to the mole himself.
Also stars Michael Richards as Mike Blade. He's best known from his time on Seinfeld as the titular Seinfeld, and had his breakout role in ABC's answer to SNL, literally called Fridays. And
Okay.
he didn't really play Seinfeld on Seinfeld. He played Kramer.
He played Cosmo Kramer.
But he did star in Fridays.
Also best known for throwing a massive N-bomb on stage at the Laugh Factory.
Unfortunately, that will be up there when they throw him in the ground in a few months. That will be part of his legacy. Look, he's old as hell. He's like 6'7". When's the last time you saw a 6'7" guy make it to 80?
You
you
saw
know?
a tall guy live long. Manute Bol was dead at 50.
What's that? Who's that? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's
He gone.
Is he? He's not dead. Is
No,
he?
he's not dead.
But I remember I was listening to the Adam Carolla show, and he had Kareem on, and he's asking about that. Like, hey, the tall guys.
They don't live very
They
long.
don't live super long.
George Mirasan.
It's like, what do you ever think about that? Is there anything you do? And he was like completely like, I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Kareem was like, it's like, I've never heard that. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, man? You won't see your 70th birthday. What are you talking about?
Tall. Well, fun fact. Longest living tall guy
Yeah.
that I ever knew was my grandfather.
How tall is your grandfather?
He was like 6'3"
Yeah.
or 6'4" at his height, and then I think he shrunk to like 6'2", whatever.
but then went back up.
But then he went back up. So that was my grandpa Bachler from Metamora.
Okay.
Or technically from Roanoke.
Corn-fed country boy.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Still holds the record at Metamora Township Community High School
For tallest?
for high jump.
Oh, tallest high jump.
Tallest high jump.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. And then my grandpa Clark, my father's dad, he was also like, till he died, like 6'2". Very crazy. But like when you get up to the 6'8", I think, so 6'7", tall guy. Very tall guy.
Yeah.
NBA, he could still be a point guard at 6'7".
Jordan was 6'6", I think.
Jordan was 6'6", famously. North Carolina. Serious by the Alan Parsons Project. 6'6" is, yeah, that's like average height now. Jordan was pretty tall for like a power forward then. But like 6'8", once you reach that 6'8" threshold, I think you're pretty much only center is your position, and you're just tall guy. It's that's that like 2-3 inch difference, and that's that 2-3 inch difference in life expectancy. Am I correct there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. Thank you.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, you're at it. I'm a real cut up, aren't I?
Finally stars Brandon Call as Scooter Clinton. He's best known from the Santa Barbara drama. I think that was a soap opera. Also, Baywatch, played the young Hobie on Baywatch. And, of course, he played JT on Step by Step.
Step by step.
Ooh,
Baby. That's the craziest thing. I know the Step by Step theme song, right? Mm-hmm. Because the song rules. And
What are you saying?
Alan Thicke was in that too, right?
Oh, was it?
Wasn't he?
Sing it. What's that?
Step by step, day by day.
day.
That was a great show.
You know what always bothered me about that show?
What's that? Alan Thicke?
I think they were like in Wisconsin or something. I don't remember where they were, but anyway, they would they do all the little
It sounds familiar.
2 or 3 seconds of the person that they're introducing, and they look at the camera and their name would pop up.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they would like pan over the city that they lived in,
Yeah.
and they would go to the bay. And what's on the bay? A big theme park. Because I think the theme park might have been part of the opening too. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I
Okay.
remember roller coaster going through.
And
for
it's very
sure.
specifically the last thing you see
Yeah.
is like a bay or an ocean side or a big lake side with a beach, and what's sitting 3-4 feet from the beach? The biggest fucking roller coaster you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was like the worst CGI ever, and I was like, why are they like? As a kid, that bothered me. It's like, why am I looking at this?
I do
you
remember it
that?
being kind of corny.
Very
Yes,
close.
yes.
Why do that? What are you getting out of doing that?
I remember it looked like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I remember now.
Yeah, okay.
I remember it looked like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Very weird.
This honestly, this podcast could very easily change over to a step-by-step podcast.
Yeah.
You-
Oh, my God.
Hey, I say this. You say the word, and it changes to a
The
step-by-step.
word.
Here we go. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses is a segment.
Thank you. No, we don't have any Twitter responses. Let's put 10 minutes on the
bad.
clock, shall we? And let's
shall.
break down the pilot known as Slickers.
Let's do it.
Do you want to start us off?
Sure.
I would love
I'll
it
start
if you
us
did
off.
it.
It's just kind of a... So, I love where my notes go here.
Oh, perfect.
So, first off, open up, police. All right, I'm breaking in. What does the lady say? Like, oh, Dios mío, or something like that.
It's definitely in a language that I don't understand.
Espanol. Yeah, she goes like, ay, Dios mío. All right, I'm breaking it in. Then a chainsaw cuts through the door, and every Hispanic
Rightfully
member
so.
of the family is like, yeah. This person jumps in through the hole that they cut in a door. He cut in a perfectly rectangle hole
It's
in a
great.
door.
It's like,
Crazy.
it's like he's done it 100 times
Exactly.
before.
She goes, ay, Texas chainsaw gringo.
Yeah. Crowd loves it.
Yeah.
Big, sexy laugh track here.
Yeah, you know what? Spoiler alert, the laugh track didn't take me out of it too much.
It didn't me either.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're obnoxious.
Sometimes too much. This one, not as much.
He has Michael Richards bust through the door with the
Yeah.
chainsaw, and he's got a Doberman that he brings, and I believe his name
Luger.
is Luger.
What did you say?
I heard Luther at one point, but at the end of the show, I think I heard Luger.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I wrote down Luger about halfway through the show because I wrote down Luger ? So
I think you're right. Well, he does it because he said the dog is there to sniff out drugs, but the dog doesn't listen to his commands at all, which we will find will be a running gag throughout the program.
which whatever.
It's fine.
It's fine. Running gag.
Don't work with kids. Don't work with animals. They say.
Yeah, I wrote here. This guy's an extreme bonehead. Seems like he's in the wrong place. It's very apparent from the very beginning that he's in the wrong place. Bonehead, and I said he sounds and looks very much like he has a Cosmo Kramer demeanor.
Yeah. It's good to point out.
Yeah, exactly.
He starts chainsawing like everything in the apartment.
The video quality of this was not great. So
I agree.
So I did not know that it was Michael Richards until the credits
really?
came.
What?
I was like,
No way.
that guy's like doing a spot-on Kramer. I didn't look up the year that it came out.
So that wasn't a joke you just said about
That is.
looking like Cosmo Kramer.
I-
You didn't know it was him.
He was playing a Kramer character based on the famous character Kramer from the show The Seinfeld.
That would come out in 4 years from that time.
Didn't know what year it came out at that point. So I was just
Yeah.
like, this is just like a B-roll Kramer character that they're coming up with, whatever. I realized like right before the credits came out, I'm like, maybe that is Michael Richards.
When did you? So you realized it at the very end of the show?
No. The beginning credits say like there's a little montage and it's like Michael Richards.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
So
basically,
you were looking for him elsewhere in the show.
what are you talking about?
Well, if you didn't think it was him, but you knew he was in the show, were you?
No. They show it after this opening scene.
Oh, okay.
After this
You're right.
opening scene, okay, so here. The opening scene ends with basically like the chief coming and being like, hey, you're a bonehead. This is the wrong place.
We caught the guys. They
Here-
were upstairs, and for some reason, we brought them into
Here
this
they
apartment.
are. There's a little tiny little person.
Yeah, it was French, maybe.
Yeah, oui. Guy with like a murder hawk, a mohawk
Yeah.
that looks like murderous. and a guy named Fat Boy, right?
Yeah, he had his hand on his stomach the whole time.
Yeah, Fat Boy.
So for some reason the police had split up 2 different floors.
Yep.
Kramer terrorizes the Mexican folks.
Let's just call him Kramer from
and then
here on
and then his cohorts bring down the gang members or whatever. They say, "We got them. Here they are."
Yeah.
And not only will we reprimand you right here, right now, we'll do it in front of the criminals.
Yep.
And we'll do it in front of the Mexican people that you've terrorized. And we're going
With
to
nobody holding the criminals back.
And
they
no,
just
yeah.
have cuffs on.
They've willingly given up.
Yeah. They just walk into this place, go, "Yeah, we were upstairs, you bonehead."
When you going to leave us alone, Blade?
Bonehead. Credits.
Well, the guy says,
Beginning
"Hey,
credits, yeah.
we're getting you out of the city. You're too nuts."
Yes, they set up a classic fish out of water scenario
Yeah.
that you can smell from a million miles away.
For 1 year, you will work in this small town.
Yep.
Now I want you to throw your badge out the window and have your dog jump 5 stories, seemingly.
My God.
And I thought that was the last we're going to see of the dog,
Yep.
but the dog comes back completely unharmed.
Totally fine.
This dog, something happened.
He was hammered, and so he jumped out the window, and he didn't tense
body
up.
went limp.
Like due date.
He did
Zach
like
Galifianakis.
Is that what that's from? Yeah. I just have always heard that, like go limp. So the dog jumped out the window,
Drunk.
knew he was in trouble, went limp,
Went fully limp.
landed fine.
Yep. And he's good. They didn't even have to tape up his ears or anything.
No, he was good.
Doberman. So the credits roll, and just like starring this and this.
It's a full-fledged intro.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like a little they give you a taste of what is going to be happening in the series, which
the
was
whole
cool.
song is exposition for for this the whole conceit of the show.
And I wrote down here, "Oh shit, it is Michael Richards." And then I wrote Dana Carvey ! I was like, "Oh, hell yeah. I love me some Dana Carvey."
Yeah.
Cut to credits are over. Littlefield, New York. One of those signs that pop up when you're driving down the road to get into town. Littlefield, New York, a Velcro capital of the Eastern Seaboard. Quote, "You'll be stuck on us." Population 19,000.
Absolutely. Mike Blade busts into.
Mike Blade.
I have trouble with this. Is he busts into Elliot Clinton's? Are there 2 different sets? Is the jail in the home? Do they live in the jail?
It's a great question.
I don't. Well, later when they get the call,
They seem like they're in different places.
yes.
You know what? Let's say that the jail and like sheriff's office is kind of basically where the sheriff lives, kind of. You know,
It did seem very homey, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a bunch of jail cells back
because
there.
I think that he lives like upstairs with his little brother Scooter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
Blade breaks in, and very Kramer. He breaks in like he busts down the door like Kramer.
Well, if you watch this, you watch Seinfeld, and then you watch that show Fridays that I mentioned earlier. Michael Richards is just, he's the physical comedy guy. UHF, you seen UHF?
I have not. I need to watch that.
It's
I
fine.
haven't. I want to watch it soon. I
Yeah.
just recently
I put it off for a long time. I haven't even seen the whole thing yet, but I've seen most of it, and it's worth a watch. Like, I have
Michael Richards in it.
Yeah. He plays like a dumb janitor, but he's
Physical
very physical. Yeah, check it out.
It's he is very much like a vaudevillian, physical Charlie Chaplin type guy in the modern,
Who
80s.
loves to say the N word.
Yeah. Well, who's to say Charlie Chaplin didn't?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
He had that mustache that
He had that Michael Jordan mustache. We all hate. We all know how he turned out, black and 6'6".
Carolina. So he makes his way into the town. This is very much classic scenario. I mean, how many times have you seen this exact thing play out? Sheriff Clinton is his name. Sheriff Elliot Clinton.
Right.
He busts in. He's tickling his little brother, who seems to be at least 20 years his minor, his junior.
I think they're really trying to play up how young and dumb and full of cum Dana Carvey is.
Yeah. So he's like tickling him. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, tickling, whatever. I'm going." He's got his gun. He's got his
like
everything.
A huge Magnum, right?
Yeah, huge Magnum. He goes, Dana Carvey, Clinton goes, or no, sorry.
Mike Blade.
Mike Blade says, "Call me Iron Man." He
Yeah.
goes, "Why?" "Because I like it."
Yes.
And that's it. And there's like a lot of dumb jokes here.
Was that? I mean, it's funny because it's so stupid.
Yes. No, I agree.
Because I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Anyway,
Because I like it.
he'll be the deputy, so he'll be working for Elliot Clinton for a year.
Yep.
And
that's his like punishment or whatever.
And this is where I did note lots of physical comedy from Michael Richards. He has,
So much.
He has a lot of weapons on him, and Elliot's like, "Hey, man, you're not really going to need these here."
Yeah. Classic again.
Small
Just-
town,
Just
not a lot
very
going
much
on.
a perfect exposition scene. I feel like to kind of get us into the thing. He meets his hot as hell sister named Cornelia.
Yep.
She goes, she's holding Brownie. She goes, Brownie? He goes, no, I'm a cop.
Yeah.
Brownie's like a little Girl Scout.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Dumb jokes. Dumb jokes.
So then Mike and his dog Luger, they apparently they're going to be bunking with Scooter.
Yeah.
Would you allow a 40-year-old man to sleep with your 8-year-old son?
In the mid 80s, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, me too.
Mid 80s?
Oh, yeah, no question.
No question. There wasn't Band-Aids back then.
Oh, absolutely. The boy and Luger kind of get acquainted.
Yeah.
And then Mike suggests changing Scooter's name to something less Rockwellian, Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
And he says, how about Spike? And the kid's like, all right, I'm an idiot. I'll do it.
Yeah. I love that.
And the next morning,
There's like a heartfelt moment too.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
because,
okay.
Because
So
he's there for like
were,
a day.
Yeah, there were like two heartfelt moments in like that scene. Or like the first one was when he like talked to Clinton and there was like, okay, well, I think I'm probably going to have to do this or something. And then he goes upstairs with Scooter, hey, buddy, we're going to be okay. Like stuff like that. Like two heartfelt moments within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just met you,
Yeah.
and we're really having these heartfelt moments. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And it gets worse with that later.
Yeah, definitely.
The next morning, they're at the breakfast table at the Clinton house, which apparently Elliot does not have his own home. He lives with his parents, it looks like. His sister
Yeah.
Cornelia and Scooter, they all live seemingly there together, but maybe he lives at the jailhouse too a little? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the vibe that I got. Is he kind of like pretty much lives at work, but he still is living with his parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got.
Well, Mike says he's got plates in his head, and he puts magnets on his head, and they stick there. And this scene acts as, hey, I do this in the city. You do this in the country? You know, it's basically, how do you do this here? That's weird. I don't do it like that at all.
Yeah, it's very
It's too on the nose.
just dumb jokes again. And there's left. There wasn't much canned laughter here, but like if it ever took me out at all, it was probably at this part, just because it was like, okay, yeah, that's too
There's a lot
stupid.
of dumb stuff.
Yeah,
just him just sitting there eating breakfast with a magnet on his head.
In its defense, got to bring myself back to before I was born in 1985.
Please.
Maybe hadn't been played out that much yet, but I can't imagine that it hadn't. Just in musicals, and plays throughout history, I feel like this kind of thing is played out enough that you don't need to make the
just the
dumbest
fish out of
jokes.
water. So yeah.
Just the dumb jokes.
Well, Mike's like, hey, I don't belong here. He's kind of insulted the family.
Yeah, very
And-
much.
And then after the way that he's behaved, everyone in the family's like, yeah, maybe you don't
All right,
belong here.
Fuck you, and they
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, they leave their own house. They
just
leave
leave.
a stranger with a magnum in their house.
And Dana Carvey just kind of like right before he's about to leave, he just kind of bucks up. And
Yeah.
he's like, you know what? I'm your fucking boss, dude. Shut up.
He's like, I'm pretty disappointed in the way
Yeah.
you've handled yourself. You call yourself a cop, and this is the way you act. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You know what, buddy? Tomorrow morning, you're wearing a uniform. You're coming in, and he just kind of bucks up, and Blade is just kind of like,
He takes it, man.
just
He-
kind of takes it, and right then,
and who's watching? Who's watching all this go down?
Ooh, Fat Boy and his cronies are in the
Yeah.
window.
Oh, I love
Just
love
like a
the
little-
cronies.
And like, you see the window.
And they're
Yeah.
like rubbing their hands together.
Oh, I'm a fat guy, and I want some of that breakfast food that they left on the table.
My mouth's watering for some of them
flapjacks. I'm resting my hand on my belly. So that happens. Scene change. They did a. Yeah. Okay. So during breakfast, I wanted to bring up the first Andy Griffith Show reference where
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, you dress up in your Barney Fife thing and
Yes.
whatever, blah blah blah." Go back in. They dress up in their thing. Michael Richards puts on his outfit, and he says,
Looks like a Boy Scout.
"Oh, I look like Gomer Pyle." It was two Andy Griffith Show references, like very close together.
Yeah, I caught that too for sure.
Well,
That's too much.
you'll hear more about that later.
Well, they're at the station, and like you said, Mike's in his uniform, and I think he does kind of look like a Boy Scout because he's got those really like cigarette leg shorts, those brown shorts.
Slim pins,
yeah.
baby. He's got some
He's
slim
got some
pins
slim
on him.
pins.
Yeah.
Elliot again kind of lays down the law
Yeah.
on Mike here, kind of setting him
Good for
straight.
him.
And then Mrs. Clinton Elliot's mom back at the house calls the station.
Yeah.
And all the those thugs from it was New York, right?
Yeah.
They're at the house and they're like, "Hey, Mike, yeah, you didn't tell me you're having a friend come over. He wants to talk to you.
You got some pals here, yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, I'm Fat Boy and I want to kill you."
Just so diabolical. It's like,
Hey, we're over here and we're gonna get ya. We're over here and you're over there, but I want you to be over here so you and I can get out of here.
But basically, they want him to come over and so they can like fuck him up. But they're gonna so we'll leave the family alone as long as you come over here by yourself and unarmed.
Yeah, and two blades thing, kind of heartfelt here, a little bit. I mean,
A little bit, yeah.
There's so many heartfelt moments here, but one of them he's like, hey, just don't touch that family. You know, they've done nothing.
Yeah.
I got you guys in trouble.
You know.
Yep.
So
And Elliot's like, "Hey,
Fat Boy, played by Rick Ducommun.
oh,
Yeah,
I have no
that's
idea
it.
who that is."
Rick Ducommun. Anyways,
Elliot's like, "Hey, what's going on in my house? What's happening in my family?" And like Mike kind of like locks him up in the jail. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna take care of this. I don't want you to get hurt. You stay here."
yeah.
And we're gonna finish this.
Yeah,
Well,
just quickly, there's just kind of a heroic moment that happens.
How did Elliot get out of the jail cell?
I don't know.
Did he have the keys
figured
on
it out.
him?
I feel like Luger did something. I don't know.
That-
Could have been Luger.
Blade goes over there, and like
Yeah.
none of the thugs have guns or weapons, which
Yeah,
is stupid.
He rides in on a tricycle, physical gag. Heartfelt moment again. He's staying. Boom.
Yeah, Elliot saves the day. He decides he's like, "I'm packing up and I'm leaving."
Hey,
And-
this
and-
is long. Hold on. This
Yeah.
is good. This is a good
All right.
line. Michael Richards. Hey, say hi to Long Tall Sally. And then
Elliot.
Elliot says, and this is Mary Tyler Moore. Oh, that was funny.
When they were pointing their guns, yeah.
Yep.
And this is the heartfelt moment that I didn't understand. The kid seems Scooter that he was bunking with, that Mike Blade
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
was bunking with, seems very upset
Yeah.
that he's leaving. It's like, "Hey, kid, this guy is 40 years old,
Yeah.
and he's been here for one day. What the hell do you care?"
Well, I mean, yeah.
Don't go, Mike. Don't go.
It's
Don't you like us,
It's
Mike?
it's pretty on the nose for dumb comedy writing, but also, I don't know. You've been a kid. Sometimes you get
I
attached.
was a kid once, yeah.
Sometimes you get just attached to somebody after hanging out with them once.
Get out of here, kid. I don't need you. I don't love you no more.
You get attached to a kid. But yeah, it's just another heartfelt moment where Dana Carvey's like, oh, you're
Please remain
staying.
seated as we
Yeah.
are now crossing a zone
And
of
then they become
turbulence.
best friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's pretty much the entire plot there.
Yeah.
I would say, Kevin, why did this show not work?
That's a good question because I think everything that happened kind of set up a series, right?
Oh, sure.
But I think that they hit a lot of milestones that should have happened within a series in one episode. So I think that maybe it was a little too loaded of an episode, and that's probably why they passed. But I understand that, once you show a pilot, then it's like, okay, this is the whole arc of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Make a series. We're not going to show this one on TV. But I feel like this one was on TV, and they were just like, all right, it's over.
It may have been. Yeah. It may have been. It does wrap up nicely, but
Yeah, and
there's-
it says like, oh, we're going to continue. And
Yeah.
the beginning montage kind of shows you, hey, here's pictures of these guys fucking around.
yeah, here's
yeah.
a small town. Here's these
Yeah.
guys wrestling around. They're having a great. They love each other.
They're fishing. Oh, he's got a fish in his hand. Yeah, no, whatever.
If I were to improve this,
Yeah.
boy, I don't know what I would do. This is a weird one.
Yeah, less heartfelt moments, maybe.
Maybe so. I mean, there was some action in it. The comedy was weak. Dana Carvey is good. I like Dana Carvey.
Yeah, I do like Dana Carvey, and Michael Richards is good too in what he's doing. Could have used a little bit more N-words, honestly. Could have used a couple more N-words.
I guess you know what. I guess if we're being honest, yeah, we're all the N words. Good lord, it's a small town.
That's what he's
after
good
all.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Richards should have been saying the N word a lot more in this, if you ask me. It's the '80s; you get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if this had survived. I think week after week, you're just gonna have more kind of fish out of water stories. And they're like, he's like, "Hey, Elliot, your sister's she got a boyfriend?"
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Yeah, there are storylines that can happen, and just stupid small time. It could be the Andy Griffith Show. Like
Yeah.
Andy Griffith Show went on forever, and it was in a small town doing nothing.
Elliot was the right kind of dopey to be,
exactly.
the Barney
Dana
Fife, for
Carvey
sure.
was perfect in the role. I mean, perfectly cast.
How young is he there?
He's
10?
Yeah,
He's probably like 25, right?
yeah. He's probably like 25 or 30, honestly, because he's an old guy now.
I bet he's 65
Oh, for sure.
today.
At least.
Maybe a little
At
north
least.
of that.
About the same age as my dad. That's what I always like. That's the
Ted
meter.
Kaczynski?
Yeah. The Yun-Ah bomber.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
We got to get your wife to re-record all those.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
IMDb. This is the part of the show where we say we're not the only people who have seen Slickers.
Yeah.
Or what we do, the thing that we do, this podcast here, is it an original idea? Not really. There's like 4 other podcasts that do exactly what
Might have
we
been
do.
the first.
We may have been. We're up there.
Yeah.
But other people have seen this. And what do you think people on IMDb, people from around the world, have rated Slickers on a scale of 1 to 10 decimal points in play?
Now, I don't think that it's going to be super high, but I also don't think it's going to be like very low.
Okay.
But I'd probably say like around a 5.8.
So you are going to carry on the tradition of cheating that Blake started years ago.
Oh, is that?
This is from 9 ratings, a 5.8 on IMDb, right down the middle. Kind of, I think I've been saying it for years. Why do I even include this in the show?
Yeah.
Viewer reviews.
Because I'm going to look at the IMDb on every single one anyway.
That's right.
My back's hurting. I've been putting the pillars up. I've been setting the pins. Oh, my back's hurting.
No, but 9 reviews, not very fair. Not a fair amount of your reviews. But 5.8 sounds about right for where people watching. Yeah.
Viewer reviews, 2 out of 10 stars. 2 stars before they were famous and before they lost their appeal.
Wow.
This is by Martin Haffer from, honestly,
Hey, fuck you, Martin.
June 9th of this year, 2020.
Whoa, no way.
So a very
Awesome.
and the only review on IMDb for
There
this.
you go. A quarantine watching.
He says Michael Richards was given an unenviable role to play in this one. He was utterly ridiculous and came off as a caricature due to the writing. His sort of character would have worked better on Fridays, where Richards got his start, or SNL, but in a series, he just seemed completely out of place. Carvey, on the other hand, was given a more rewarding job. His character wasn't so weird and obnoxious, but regardless, the show was not a stellar comedy, and I could see why it was never picked up for a series. Broad writing, difficult-to-like characters, and an invasive laugh track were serious problems with Slickers.
Okay. Invasive laugh track is the only part that I kind of disagree with there.
I agree with
don't
you
know.
disagreeing with
I
him.
don't know, man. I just didn't really feel it that hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety,
Bing bong,
please
bing bong,
remain
bang
seated with your
boom.
seatbelt fastened
Hello.
until the
Bleep bloop,
captains
Bitcoin.
turn off the fasten
Beep, bop, boop,
seatbelt
beep.
sign.
End of the show. Landing.
End of the show. We landed it.
We land the plane so you don't have to. Now we score
Pretty much.
Slickers.
Yeah.
A scale. Are you pretty familiar with the scale?
I'm pretty familiar with the scale. I've tried to do it before in the past,
It's tough.
and have not gotten it.
Hey, Blake's been doing
it.
it for 5 years and he can't do it.
Yeah, I know. I know precisely how long he's been doing it. Okay.
Yeah,
Know the dates.
And you know the amount of episodes too, right? You know the exact number.
I don't know the exact number of episodes. I know the dates of each episode in season 7. You completed season 7 in March of 2017. I'll tell you that much.
7.
So she snapped his neck and drank his blood. Oh, baby.
1 out of 7 is the scale. 1
Yeah.
being the worst score, 7 being the best. These are
Yep.
taken from the show affectionately and accurately known from
As
the
Cheers.
as Cheers, the 1990s sitcom called Cheers. We take a look at all the characters from Cheers. Here I go. Number 1, the worst character you're gonna have.
Norman. I don't know any characters except for Norman.
Norm, worst character on Cheers.
Don't know.
2, Cliff Lavin.
The other guys.
That's Cliff Lavin. 3,
The bimbo.
no, who's that girl? Rita Perlman, Carla.
Oh, Rita Perlman's in
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, she is. Oh, yeah.
Number 4, Frasier Crane.
Fraser Crane. Oh, Fraser Crane.
Number 5, you could be a Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Number 6, Kirstie Alley. And
Yep.
of course, number 7, the
Yep.
man with the plan and the hair extensions. It's Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, baby. Pecker. Or, what was his name?
It's that CBS comedy where his cock was just out for a half hour.
What
at a
was
time.
his name?
Becker. You guys remember? You guys remember in the mid to late '90s when Ted Danson had that sitcom where his dick was out for 30 minutes?
And he was in blackface.
You remember that? Remember that team name I had at your? I had that team name at your trivia night. Do you remember what it was?
Dancing in blackface or something like
No,
that.
it was called. I think it was called like Ted Danson's Blackface Success.
Oh, shout out to Justin Trudeau on that one.
Big ups to the Canadian Prime Minister.
Oh my gosh.
Captain Kebmo Slice, I turn to you. How do you rate
Oh, my
Slickers?
I'm gonna give this a solid 4.
Okay.
I liked, the comedy was fine. Oh my gosh, I got it. I was just laughing because of that. Good comedy, good physical comedy, good pairing.
Yeah.
Could have gone on. Liked it. Just wasn't very good, the episode itself. Could have been a good series. That's a thing.
Yeah.
So a 4.
4.
Yeah.
A solid, right down the middle. Good score for your first
wasn't gonna
co-hosting position.
Wasn't gonna throw a 5 on it,
Okay.
Yeah.
I will agree with you. I think this is a 4 as well. Unfortunately, the copy that we saw was very granular.
That contributes for sure.
The audio was so. Dana Carvey's great. I think they got the right guy in that role. I don't think that can be said for Michael Richards. This is what I'll say about Michael Richards. At the time, I think he had a little bit of heat on him, just a little bit of heat to where he could get a role like this. But I don't think he's the right guy for that role.
Cosmo Kramer wasn't it.
I think he could have been another cop there who was goofy too.
Very
think
much
maybe
so,
that
yeah.
would have been the good one.
He could have been the Gomer Pyle.
Maybe so.
Really?
I really
You know?
do like Dana Carvey as the head dopey guy, but maybe he had another dopey guy under him.
Yeah. I mean, this could be truly like a Andy Griffith rewrite. Like, fully fill those positions.
Yeah.
Andy Griffith, Barney Fife, Gomer Pyle. Like, fill those 3. You need your Andy Griffith, really.
Absolutely. That's
You
who
know.
we're looking for here.
Yeah.
Is that hard-nosed
Straight
cop.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that would be.
Yeah.
I sometimes I think I should have a list of
Yeah,
80s
gosh.
actors and actresses that I can pull up and say, hey, this is who you should have had. But I
Is
think
this
Michael,
the Ernest B. World Preservation Society?
someone's listening.
Yeah.
But Michael Richards probably wouldn't want that 3rd or 4th tier role
For sure.
in the mid-'80s.
Yeah. He
was-
seems too kind of confident and cocky of a person.
Maybe so, yeah.
Personality, even before he reached fame in Seinfeld,
But I give it a 4. You give it a 4. And with that, we close the book on Slickers, and we will never mention that show again.
Probably never.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of North Hollywood. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. A struggling group of actors in comics form a friendship while searching for their big break. You can find the entire episode of North Hollywood by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do, YouTube. Whew, that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Feel good? First time us two on microphones together?
Yeah, it's. I think it went well. What do you think? Nah, not good? All right.
4.
4 as well.
Yeah, 4.
If you want to contact the program, go to couchpilotspodcast.com. There you can find our Facebook, our Twitter, our email address. Drop us a line, follow us. If you do, you will see what we're up to ahead of time, so you can get ahead and watch the shows before they're released and be ready.
For sure. And a back catalog of all the episodes.
They're all there. If you do any of those things, if you listen, if you tell people about the show, we're going to give you frequent flyer points.
Yeah.
It's part of our program to thank the listeners for listening and telling their friends. Even if you tell friends just face to face, we know.
Yeah.
We know. And we thank you. Those,
Like the Santa Claus rule.
yeah, we.
Well, the Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah, the
With an E.
Yeah.
Tim Allen.
Tim Heidecker, right? Is that what you're doing? Tim Heidecker stand up?
Yeah. No, that was the Tom Hanks earlier. No. Tim Allen, the Santa Claus, the log line for that movie was actually, instead of ho, 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 it's going to be,
Well, Boy, I don't remember that at all. I think that movie hit me at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Call 910 Pilots 1. That's 910
745
745
6871.
Leave us a voicemail. You get to hear what your dumb fucking voice sounds like right on the program here.
Yep.
Get more frequent flyer points. And if you really like us, if you really want to stroke our egos and maybe our cock meat, go to patreon.com, search Couch Pilots, and donate a few bucks to us every month. It does cost money to do the show. Money that I don't really have. I mean, my daughter does not have braces right now for a reason because I'm doing the show. But if you want to contribute.
The Sia rule.
Yeah, the Sia rule.
Do you not know that?
The
Sia. The singer,
Yeah,
Sia.
yeah, what about her?
She was given the option by her parents when she was in high school.
I definitely did not know this.
You didn't know this? Get your snaggletooth fixed or go to singing camp or something.
Yeah.
She chose to go to the singing camp. She's now rich and famous. Still has a snaggletooth.
Keeps it
As a reminder.
Rocking the jewel, huh?
Mm-hmm. The jewel.
Jewel's hot, except she had some threw a football in her mouth or something. Yeah. You remember Jewel? What do you got? Is you got Jewel there? What is that?
Sia.
Oh, I do like Sia.
She's really good.
She's great. Yeah. I especially like that hairdo.
Yeah. The half and half. The old half and
half.
half.
Oh, love the old.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The old,
what's that? Half and half animal style. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. What's that called on Comedy Bang Bang? It's not a half and half. It's Jason Mantzoukas, Andy Daly, side by side.
Side by side. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
All right. By side. Enough of that bullshit. Hey, listen. At the end of the show, Blake used to fucking ramble on about some bullshit. I gave Blake 30 seconds at the end of the show.
Yeah, very much.
Is there anything that you would like to plug or anything you want to talk about at the end of the program here?
No. Good show.
You have a couple other podcasts. Don't want to talk about those? They're good.
There's one called Karaoke Big E. Comes out on Tuesdays. It's spelled Karaok space BIG space E.
Whoever came up with that name is an idiot. It was me.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another podcast that comes out on Thursdays called The Sixer Podcast. Jason is also on another podcast called the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society.
True that.
Subscribe on Patreon to that. Good perks.
We do have some good perks on there, actually.
Yeah. No, that's no real plugs besides that, I guess, moving forward. Just know that.
Well, thank you. And those shows that you mentioned that you're a part of are good shows.
Yeah, they're fun.
I do enjoy
very much
to them
fun.
very much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this pilot may have been rough. But actually, you know what? Before we do that, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
This pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See, you're a big fan?
Big fan.
Yeah, it's always nice to meet a fan. Thank you.
Patton Oswalt. No, I was talking about the Patton Oswalt movie.
Yeah,
you seen it?
Me too. Great
Big
movie.
fan.
Great film.
Have you actually seen it?
I've seen part. No, actually, no. I don't think I have seen that.
He works in a parking garage.
He paints himself up like like a football team, right?
No, he works in a parking garage booth, and he calls into a radio station, and he has a script that he rehearses that he talks about. Oh, this is what happened during the game. He writes it up while he's working in the parking booth. First time, long time, all that kind of thing. And then, it's I don't know. It's just he's just a big fan.
He goes nuts, right?
Yeah, he's just a big fan of the team, and it's just a fun movie. That's all I got.